Well, since I have summoned all of you here today, I think it is probably a good idea to basically talk about what happened this morning. However, the optimist that I sometimes can be in me is not allowing me to start this off with bad news. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with the good news, and then I'm going to fill you in on how we've reached these good news, which is uh not as not as good as you might think. Okay, to sum up everything that basically is going to affect the channel from now on. I am going to be doing a lot more streaming in the foreseeable future, meaning that I am switching to almost full time. Full time, not 8 hours a day, but probably 4 hours a day, 6 days a week. And there is a reason for all of that. I'll explain. I'll explain. That's the good news, and I've even prepared. This is something that I did before the stream, so I'm sorry if it looks like shit. But I have created my new schedule that you can now see on screen, and if there are any mistakes in the time zones or whatever, you will excuse me because I am under duress, and this is something that I had to come up very fast. So, the TLDR is that my schedule is changing for the better, or maybe for the worse, for people who are used to seeing me maybe at a later time on, I don't know, Fridays or whatever. I'm going to keep myself limited to 4 hours a day, but we're going to have more days when we see each other, so that's good news. The reason for this is that I received a call from work, and I still have a job. That's the good part. However, I'm just trying to kind of put this together and see how much of it I can disclose and how much of it I can't. So, my job basically revolves around me being on call. So it's somewhat of a call center, as in as in when there's a patient that needs when there's a doctor that needs assistance with the patient who doesn't. Oh, is there ads? Oh, I'm so sorry. Now is a really really bad time for me to be having ads. Men's Libra, welcome back. What's up? Is there ads for real? Does everybody see ads? Oh god, that's annoying. Well, I guess I'll wait for the ads. Let me actually go to Twitch and figure out if I can snooze them for now or something like that. Let me see. What can we do about this? How do I snooze them? Is there a way to snooze ads? See, I'm not seeing an ad announcement. That's strange. Um, is there ads? Is there an ad block? I'm trying to find a way to snooze them so that I can actually talk without being interrupted. We'll see, but I see no ads. Okay, so some people have an ad. I'm sorry about that. Whenever there's another ad block, I'll try to snooze it. Anyway, the TLDR, Necroform, by the way, welcome back, is that I will be streaming a lot longer, and you can see the new schedule here. That's pretty much it. So I got a call from work, and like some of you know, I work as a medical interpreter, meaning that I receive calls from doctors when they have a patient who doesn't speak English, who speaks one of the languages that I speak. So I do live translating, that is interpreting. And I'm just going to choose and be fully transparent with you as a community because there's no reason to lie about this. There's I used to be paid per hour, and that was fine. However, my job is switching things around, and instead of basically being paid per hour, they are introducing a system where we are paid per minute of talking. And that's something that I am not fully thrilled about, because my job is not as busy as you might think. So the previous deal, no, nothing. TLDR, you didn't miss anything. I'm just explaining how my job works and how basically they've switched some things around. And now I am basically going to be paid per hour of talking, or per minute actually, of talking to people. And I don't even want to get into what the rate of that is, because y'all are gonna laugh at me for even, like, I'm not gonna even say that, because I can't bring myself to say what it is. But right now, I don't have another choice. The other change is that I am now required, on the days that I do work, I'm required to spend 5 hours on duty, instead of like the 2 hours that I used to do. There's a good and a bad side to this. The good news is that I can choose the hours. The bad news is that I don't really have a lot of choice when it comes to my life anyway, because the peak hours start right around the time when I'm with my family, and I'm just not willing to sacrifice the time with my son. So if I want to keep the job, uh, I'm basically to put my kid to bed, and then around 9 or 10 p.m., do my job for about 5 hours, hope that it's busy, and then I can go to bed. And then I can wake up in the morning, um, I don't know, take my kid to daycare, go back to sleep, or do something like that. And then in the morning, go to the gym and go straight to streaming. The reason why I'm gonna be able to stream that much is because I'm going to need footage to be editing during those hours that there is nobody around. Obviously, I'm attentive when it comes to my job, and I do it properly when there's something on call. But finding another job is a great idea that has occurred to me, but it is not as easy as it sounds, because I spent a month getting trained for this job. I've been working there for a month and a half after 2 to 3 months of not having a job. So, needless to say, I've ran out of funds that will basically keep me going until I find a job. So I don't really have this opportunity to just like be looking for a job and not be working. So for the time being, I took the deal because I have no choice. So I'm gonna be streaming more. First of all, because not because I'm not be- just because I'm gonna have more time to do so, but because for the first time in a very long time, I feel like my streaming is going places, good places, and that's all thanks to you. Now, I'm not talking about money, I'm not talking about, I don't know, any sort of like partnerships or anything of the sort. Yeah, I am going to, like, I have to be realistic, okay? So my first instinct when I heard about this was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But then that's what I did with my last job. Something happened, and I quit my job. And then I spent like 2 to 3 months having a very hard time. And you guys are the ones who have been keeping me going. You've literally kept my lights on, and I I'm so grateful to have you, because you've pushed me through that time, and I just don't want to have another one of these times when I'm feeling so pressured and feeling like I have to fully rely on my community to support me in such a way. So as 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 uh, as bad as it is, I guess uh I'm going to choose to have that job, because right now I don't have anything else. it might work out better because like from my calculated rate, if I was to spend all of my time like working like on call, the hourly rate is better than what I have right now, but I don't get that much work, you know? For me, it's not that's not a realistic number because I know how frequent these things are. And I don't know if things will be different when I'm, working during those peak hours and whatnot. But I can't say for sure that it's going to be better. Like, I can't make that assumption or prediction or anything of the sort. So for now, I'm just I'm just forced to basically take the deal, because if I don't take the deal, then I just have nothing. So the only reasonable thing that I can do, that life is basically telling me to do, is to take this thing that we have and this community that we've been building and everything, to take it as a sign and to take it seriously and to invest more time into streaming, because this is something that at the end of the day I want to do, and I want to be more consistent and give it more time. Now the change happened because uh, the change happened because I realized that during the night, if I'm working for at least 5 hours, I'm gonna be sitting in my chair, and if I have nothing to do, I'm gonna have this time that I can work on my content and other things. So I'm still gonna be there, and it makes no sense for me to stream every other day when I'm still going to need to do something during those hours. So I've decided to just switch to daily streaming instead. Now, if the schedule is not something that sits right with you, I'm so sorry. But I literally have no other choice. I have a choice between basically doing that and switching the hours, like streaming at European nights, which is kind of like American afternoon. But then if I'm working, then those are bad hours for the job, where I would just be sitting there and it would just be dead. So I will make no money. Like, that's my reality. And I don't know, this is and it would involve changing the schedule again, and this is something that I'm now used to, you're now used to, and I don't want to change the schedule too much. So if that's still a thing, you could do a recast in that evening. Oh yeah, definitely. So for like YouTube people, I do like a recast, especially when I play like two games on a certain day. So what I do is, if I have 4 hours of footage, and if I play, let's say I play Hearthstone for 2 hours, I play another game for 2 hours, I basically cut them and then I re-premiere them during the night or in the evening, and I can still be there. I can still be there in the chat and whatnot. And that's like a way for me to compensate for those evening hours, at least on YouTube, because rebroadcasting on Twitch is just a hassle to do, and it works in a very weird way. I don't want to burden you with that. But yeah, like, there's not a lot of adjustments actually, apart from the fact that you're just gonna be seeing a lot more of me, for better or for worse. This decision is probably a good one because I'm gonna have the time. Because I feel like for the first time that I'm going somewhere with my content and with my streaming, and none of that would happen if there wasn't for you. And I can't state how grateful I am for that. And you've actually given me the confidence to even make this decision, because I feel like lately I've been doing something good. I don't know what it is, but something has been working out, and maybe this is a good time to do more of that and just have it work out even more. So this is an opportunity. I'm going to choose to not see it in a negative way, and just take it as an opportunity to grow this, and and you know just take the time when I'm not busy in the evening to just edit the content and whatnot. For me, it would not even make sense to take an editor, and because I'm going to have this time to edit as well. I've actually figured it out in a way that I can get up around like 9:30 in the morning or so and actually go to the gym before streaming. So I'm gonna choose to keep myself healthy, which is the reason why I'm not starting the stream earlier. But if I did start it earlier, that would just be way too early, I think, for the Pacific people. So I chose not to do that. And my son's daycare finishes, or well, is closing around 5 p.m. Central European, which gives me an hour to basically get ready, eat some food, and go and get him maybe even earlier than before and spend more time with him than before because normally I pick him up around 4:45, but with this schedule I can be there at 10 past 4 and actually have like 4 or 5 hours with him, which is more than what we do now. You know where the coffee is, right? It is freakishly early. So I mean, this it's around this time, right? So if y'all are here during this time, that means that right now you're awake, and there's a chance that you're gonna be awake on other days as well. Thank you, Necrophore. I really hope so. I really hope it does work out. This morning, I'm not gonna lie to you, I freaked out, and the reason why I was even late for the stream is because I just sat there after the call. I sat there for like 15 minutes and I tried to figure out what I'm gonna do and I couldn't. So I did the only thing that I thought was going to help me. I packed my bag and I went to the gym. So I spent like an hour on the treadmill. I played some Hearthstone and I just kept thinking about how I'm gonna make this work. So I came back from the gym. I came up with the schedule. I calculated all of the like the times, the schedules, the rates, and everything. And I realized that there is a way for me to do this and actually keep up with everything. Wait, I missed some messages in the chat, sir. What time's work? The new ones just give us a chance for me to be on time rather than almost an hour late after you. Oh, I see, I see. Well, I mean, maybe this works out better for some people. Maybe I don't think it's that much of a change right now. If anything, I'm just gonna be finishing maybe like, um, half an hour earlier than before, but I'm going to be starting an hour earlier as well. Monday to Saturday, I think, is enough. And I also asked for a day off on Saturdays because technically I can get a day off whenever, but I just have to announce it up front, and I don't get paid for that day at all. So I just said that I'm not going to be announcing it, that I just want my days off to be on Saturdays, and that's it. So on Saturdays, I will be streaming, and I don't have to end the stream as early, but I will just for my own sanity and self care, and maybe an opportunity to do something on a Saturday evening. And then on Sundays, I will just not be streaming as I'm working again, and I just need one day to basically catch up with footage and everything. Flexible. We'll see. We'll see. This is what I had to come up with in, I don't know, in like 4 or 5 hours. I had this call like 5 hours ago, and I thought that it was gonna be like a normal call. I thought it was gonna be like a feedback or something, you know, and that did not turn out to be a feedback call. And this is what it is. This is what it comes down to. So more streaming, more I guess more content, and I don't know. Hopefully, hopefully this is the right thing to do, because at this point I'm starting to just be more and more grateful for my community and for my content and for having something to fall back on whenever there's something in life that isn't working out the way I would want to. I honestly don't know what I would do if I had nothing, if I just got a job there. Like, imagine a situation in which I'm not a content creator with the aspirations to turn my content into a full time thing. Like, if I was to just have that job, I would be paid per hour, and then a month into getting that job, I would basically have uh, changed conditions that I would probably not be okay with, because how can this situation guarantee me that I will have enough money to pay for rent and to do all these other things? I don't know if I would take that risk. And thanks to you, I'm able to take this risk. And thanks to that job, I'm able to actually sit there, and I have to sit there, which will give me time to basically work on content. See, this is yeah, this is exactly the point that I'm kind of concerned about because of the nature of the job. This is not just me, this is everyone in the company. I don't like disclose names of companies or anything for obvious reasons. But what I'm saying is that if you switch this system from one to another, are you incentivizing people to perform less efficiently? You know, because if you're working at a reactive job where it is of utmost importance for you to say something as soon as possible if it's an emergency or something like that, how is it incentivizing for people who work to not, you know, kind of, I don't know, take their time? I don't understand it. I don't understand why this is the way it is, but I just can't state how thankful I am for this opportunity to do what I do here, because without you I just wouldn't be able to pull it off. Anyway, that was my announcement of the day. I will update my social media and Discord and pretty much everything at some point today, because tonight I have to get myself to stay up later, because tomorrow I have to, well, wake up later so that I can stay up later until like 3 in the morning. So I have to switch my sleep schedule. And tonight I'll be awake until late, and I'll be updating all these things pretty much everywhere. So even if someone has missed out on the announcement and whatnot, I'll probably just cut this and post it as a separate video as well. So yeah, that's pretty much that. That's my announcement. Thank you for listening, and thank you for for still being here and for enjoying the stream and the content and everything. I'm just very very thankful for you. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you. I love you guys too. You have no idea. I'm just okay. Now I might not even be playing like shit because I actually